So today's webinar, as part of your series, is culture. Whose responsibility is it? So without further ado, let's get into what I think will be a really interesting webinar, and hopefully will make a lot of people really reflective and think about their own culture. So what are we going to cover off in the next sort of hour and a bit that we have together? Well, we're going to share insights about culture, but more specifically, what actually is workplace culture? Why is it important? What your current culture could be like, building psychological safety, a very, very important lever, your leadership styles and values, and how you can sustain positive culture daily, and how, more importantly, we might influence and play a role in creating and maintaining that positive culture. So that's what we're about to cover. Get your pens handy, because I think there will be a lot of good note taking and a lot of great insights that you can apply in your day-to-day. So first of all, what is culture? Well, my favourite definition is this one. It's exactly how we feel on a Sunday night about turning up to work on a Monday morning. Who relates? Me. I once worked for a nutcase. He ruled by fear and loathing. He got off on screaming at people in meetings, telling them they were useless, and he played all of his staff off against each other. He was erratic, he was inconsistent, and he wasn't very smart or even very creative, and he was in a creative industry. He just had power because he actually owned the business. Needless to say, he never kept any talent for long, and those that did remain were very, very average. Sunday nights for me were always very depressing. So this definition of culture is one that I totally remember and relate to. So what is culture? Well, there are 6 different definitions in the library, in the dictionary in the library. And when it comes to organisational culture, these are my favourite. The English word culture is originally from the Latin word cultus, and the Latin word cultus means to care. It's where our words horticulture, viniculture, agriculture all come from. To care for the garden, to care for the grapes, very important we care for the grapes, to care for the plants. And what's really interesting, and I'm sure you relate to this, there's always more than one culture in any one company. There are subcultures. Your overall organisational culture, your department or function culture, and then there might be your team culture. Just thinking about what I've said, how many cultures do you think exists in your organisation? Do a quick mental tally. Think about your experience in your team versus the experience of your leader, perhaps in their leadership team, or perhaps the experience of one of your colleagues in another part of your business. Years ago, when I worked for one of the major big banks, I had a great experience. I loved my leader, I loved my team, I loved the function I worked in. I would go to barbecues and I would meet other people who also worked at this very large bank, because it employed more than 20,000 people. And I would start talking to somebody about what I did. They would share they too were at the same bank, and we would then talk about our experience. And often our experiences were different, yet we were still working for the same big bank. And that's when it really dawned on me, okay, there are subcultures, and those subcultures are very, very directed by the people that work in them. So why is culture important? Everyone enjoys working in a positive work atmosphere. Yeah, this is what drives talent and engagement. It also creates an impact on happiness, on satisfaction. And a positive work atmosphere, not surprisingly, absolutely affects the performance. Leadership, management, workplace rituals, policies, and all people impact workplace culture. If you had to prioritise what impacts workplace culture the most, it is the people. It is generally leader-led, but everyone plays a role in workplace culture. A good culture attracts people that are more talented in the team. A good culture can give you a competitive advantage. Everybody today researches organizations and brands before we get associated with them. It's very easy to do. You can do that via LinkedIn. You can do that via the internet. You can even use AI today. You also might know people who know people in an organization. You can find out and check what is the climate of the company when it comes to culture. Good candidates get attracted to a strong, positive, defined, well-communicated culture. And a culture that is positive keeps employees engaged and driven. Research shows that great work culture keeps employees content and happy, and it keeps employees loyal.
If you want to continue listening to this masterclass, then consider becoming a keen keeper and subscribe to us on Patreon, where you'll get access to all the masterclasses and bonus episodes and early access to episodes. So come and join us on Patreon. Either be a monthly subscriber or a 20% discount if you want to commit to us annually.